fishing, it's in my soul.
Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
Hello, Salt Strong Nation. Joe Simons, like diamonds, back again. We're talking about the best online fishing community, and it just got better. Got my boy Nick. What's up, brother?
Hey, Joe.
Nick is the guy behind the scenes who has been developing everything you see at Salt Strong, and today happens to be your anniversary. How many years?
Oh my gosh, 5 years now. 5 awesome years.
That's the anniversary with Salt Strong, by the way, not his anniversary with his wife.
I just had that too, but yeah, 5 years Salt Strong.
That's awesome, man. So you're officially an OG and have seen a lot. So, well, I guess we'll start off. And if you guys are watching, you could see a little glimmer of this new community we're about to be releasing to our insiders. And we'll talk about the history, since Nick's been with us for 5 years and has seen it all, of how this has evolved. So many of you might not know this, but the very first community we had in terms of the insider community was on Facebook. So we still have the normal Facebook group. Those are just, random people. There's some insiders in there, but for the most part, it's 80,000 people. We don't really know who's an insider, who's not. It's just a great way to, talk about fishing, share some pics, etc. There's also a lot of negatives about being on Facebook. And then we had the insider community that was a private exclusive. You had to get an invite, essentially. What means once you joined the club, you got invited to join the insider Facebook group. And over time, we heard just a lot of feedback from our members. One, obviously, was, hey, I don't like Facebook and I don't want to have to log in to be able to see everything. And so we were like, okay, but there's still, it seemed the majority of people were on Facebook. But then, and Nick, you might remember this too, like it seemed like Facebook hit a tipping point where these groups got popular, which was good, but they also got like flooded with just negativity and hate and spam and people hacking into them and putting all kinds of inappropriate stuff. And, it's trying to do the little Rolex thing where all of a sudden you click on the link and now you're sharing, get a free Rolex with all your friends. Like it was a lot of just spammy stuff that we didn't like. And then Facebook started, offering ads inside of groups. So they were distracting you with other stuff that we didn't really want to see. And once again, we listened to our insider members, and the members, for the most part said, hey, like, let's go create something new. Let's have a clean slate. We know what we like about Facebook. It's easy to use. It's right there on your phone. It's simple to post stuff. We also know what we don't like about Facebook, which is the ability for people to come in there and find it on Facebook. Clearly the negativity, really tough to find stuff, right? Because let's face it, as fishermen, most of us want to see what's happening in our region, right? We want to be able to quickly say, all right, I don't really care what people are catching in Indonesia right now. Which is the negative about a lot of these fishing apps and communities and in the groups in Facebook. I want to see what's happening in Tampa Bay, right, or Sarasota, or Baffin Bay, wherever you might live. And so we started taking a lot of the good features from the Facebook group and just the overall community. And then we combine it with kind of the forums of the day, right? We're very well organized, had categories and many times regions, and we combined the two together. So that was quite a few years ago, Nick, when that happened. And we actually deleted the insider Facebook group, just so you know. A lot of you original insiders remember that. We actually finally just deleted it. You can't get in it. It's done skis. And then we moved over to community.saltstrong.com, which is a progressive web-based app. So you can still have it on your phone as a little icon, just like any app, be automatically logged in and see everything. And more recently, we hit 25,000 members, and we said, guys, like, what do you want us to fix? And there were some bugs, there's some glitches. There was, I don't know, it wasn't a flawless user experience. And it's tough to get that unless you have 1,000 engineers like Facebook, but we knew we could make it better. And so Nick has been working on behind the scenes with a couple of engineers, and has really taken this thing to the next level. So what did I miss there? I just gave 4 years of history in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think you got it all pretty much. I'm really excited with where this is headed. So, if you want, I can kind of show around some of the.
Yeah, show us what we got here. And what was the main thing that you heard? Was it regions? That seems to be.
The main thing we heard was when you first pull up the communities, they just want to see it focused on their region. So we really made it region focused and also member focused so that you can connect with other members. You can see other people in your regions. So that's what we focused on first.
Cool.
So when you first go to the community, the main feed is just going to be your region. It's going to be your default region. And then on the right side, it's going to have all the trends for your region. And you'll be able to see your regional map where all the different reports are pinned, your regional tactics. That's going to be all the lessons and tips for your region for that time of year. And then you're going to see the top trending species that are caught in that region in the last 30 days, as well as the lures and also the top trending anglers. The other thing what is that based on, the top trending anglers who's caught the most fish? This is based on engagement and also reports and just people that are generally engaged in the community, and this constantly changes. So over the next 30-day rotation, there'll be new people that show up and some that drop off, but it's just a way to feature members.
Cool.
The other thing that we heard about was strike scores. Like, why do I have to go to a whole other site to see my strike score in my region? So what we're doing is we're going to show nearby tide stations for this region, for my home region, and then the ability to favorite tide stations so that you can see them all in one spot. And then you can get a quick forecast of your strike score right here. While you're looking at all your fishing reports, you can kind of get a glance of what's happening in the future so you can start planning your next outing.
That's awesome. So if you guys don't know about the strike score, we even have many members that don't know we've built all this. So we have, as Nick mentioned right now, a thing called Smart Fishing Tides. It is a separate site, and we're combining it all in this. And within Smart Fishing Tides, we obviously have tides for every single tide station and really in America. And we also have tied in barometric pressure and wind direction, the water temperature, obviously the different types of moon phases, et cetera. And we've tied it in to a score from 0 or 0.1 being the absolute worst, all the way to a 10. And the 10 basically says, call in sick and cancel work, and you better go fishing. So if you guys are listening over on the right-hand side, Nick has a little, it's basically looks like 14 days out, I think. Mm-hmm. And it actually has numbers from 1 all the way to 10. And there's a couple 9.2, 9.8, and those are highlighted in red. And those should be the days that you should be fishing if you can. In general, just based on all the environmental factors that we have in this kind of, algorithm, it should be one of the best bites. It's not 100%, but it's just like anything. It just gives you a gauge and a little bit of a shortcut to know exactly when you should be fishing. And we also have, on top of all that, in the Smart Fishing Tides, which we'll be bringing on here, is even sonar. So you can actually see the depth of every area you're fishing and overlay it on top of, Google satellite maps. I mean, there's some really, really cool stuff that our members have access to. And I'm willing to bet a lot of members don't even know about it. So we're tying all that in to this community, to your region. And I assume, Nick, that you can change regions as well, right? Like if you were going to be spending time in a different part of the state or the country and you wanted to change it, you could change it up.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a drop down right here. These are all the different regions that I'm following. So you can follow all the regions in the United States if you want. But these are just the primary ones that you might fish often. So then you can just choose a different region and or you can choose all and see what's going on in all of Salt Strong community.
Cool.
Yeah. And then some of the other things we did is topics and species. Before, you can only choose one at a time. Now you can actually choose, several topics and several species, and that'll filter the feed based on that selection. Another new feature is the ability to see only new posts. So it actually knows what posts you've seen. And then next time you visit the community, you'll be able to only see the new posts, that almost like your Outlook or your email, when you can just see your unread messages. This is basically the same concepts. You could adjust your unread community posts. Another feature we added was to see a feed of just for those people that you follow. So if you have a group of people in your region that you just want to see their posts right now, you just click following and it'll only show you the post of those that you follow. And then top posts, of course, would be the top posts for the region.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. And if you are in this Sarasota to Lee region, you should be following all three of these people, Joe, Brian, and Mark. I mean, just watching Joe's and Brian's, I mean, those guys, they're out in the water every single week. So that's the cool part about many of our members. They're out in the water multiple times a week, and they're reporting on exactly what's happening. We have people doing that from, Texas to Virginia and everywhere in between. And it's so helpful. I mean, Luke and I go to Placida, I don't know, once a quarter. And guess what I do? I literally go in here and I look to see what Joe and Brian and Mark and those guys are catching and what types of spots, like what are the trends? Are they around mangrove points? Are they in deeper little pockets? And I go do the same thing. I mean, it is really, really cool, like on the water, real time, on demand intel that you can't get anywhere else. I mean, nowhere else are people willing to share like they are in this community, which is why I believe it's the best, right? And we still high five and love to highlight people who are just having a great day or caught their first slam or their new PB. But I think the coolest part, because this is a private community, we have 25,000 plus members now. So it's got a lot of momentum. There's a lot of people sharing. I mean, every few minutes there's new reports going up, but people are sharing so much. When someone has a question and saying, hey, I'm really struggling in this area to catch trout, where would you guys fish? I mean, people are literally like going into Google and screenshotting actual like satellite maps and drawing arrows and saying, hey, I would fish this area during this outgoing tide using this lure. I mean, it's crazy helpful. And we're just so blessed that we have such amazing members who are positive and willing to help. It's been really, really neat.
Yeah, that's what I love to see in this community is that you don't have to be afraid to ask a question, even no matter how simple it is, that no one's going to chastise you or anything. They'll answer you and give you honest feedback.
Yep.
Some of the others.
In fact, I assume in this new one there will be no cursing, no negativity.
Oh yeah, there's no cursing, no negativity, all positive. Even if you try to curse, it'll asterisk it out, so you won't be able to read anything like that. Some of the other things we did just to make it more member focused is it's a lot easier to see all the different people that are interacting with your posts, so you can see everyone, see their badge and if you're following them or not, and then you can click a little bit more, drill down even more and see where they live. If they're in Venice, Florida, that's where they fish. They're VIP, how many followers and likes. You can message them. You can continue to view their profile. It just helps to really connect with people. And then we've got a new instant messenger that's coming out that's just a lot more robust and works a lot faster. So that's coming out as well.
And then real quick on that, for you current members who use the instant messenger, which is also known as the chat, I get so frustrated because I might be, way down in the main feed, right? I've looked at maybe 40 posts that day and I'm about to comment on one, and then someone messages me, which is cool. I love the fact that we can instant message each other. But like when that thing would pop up, I would reset. It would forget where I was after I replied to the comment. It drove me crazy. So and I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about who use the instant messenger. So just know we're fixing all that. This new chat feature is going to be next level. I think we're using the same chat as like Reddit and some really big companies use. It's a whole lot more expensive, but it is going to be well worth it.
Absolutely.
Look at Tanya there getting a kiss in on one of these pictures. Huh?
Yeah, all the photo galleries are now standardized. So it's just a real clean look. I'm excited to roll this thing out. So now when I go back to the current community, it's like, wow, the new one is so much better.
Oh yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah. For you current members, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't joined yet, you should. But gosh, the old version seems kind of archaic when you look at this. This is so clean. And this will look the same on mobile, just, shrunken down. And that's actually where you guys kind of started first, right? Was, kind of wireframing it out on mobile, because that's where the majority of people are spending their time in this community.
We did. Yeah, we started with mobile first. We actually got a UX engineer to come through and went through the logic of how things are actually used on mobile. So we focused on that first, and then we built out the desktop version after that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So and so the trending lures, so that's neat too, is, unlike, Instagram or Facebook where someone just posts a fish pic, our members, for the most part, almost all of them are sharing what lures or bait they use to catch that fish, and even the tides and all that. So we have all this data, and we're just going to keep sharing it with you guys just to help you find the fish and to enable you to catch fish faster than ever. This whole thing is about shortcuts, about, shortening the learning curve. And even people like Tanya, I mean, if you don't know Tanya, I mean, she's sponsored by Z-Man. I mean, she's a legit angler who's out there every single week, and she's a member, and even talks about, man, I learned so much in this community, even though she's out guiding people around and putting people on fish every single day. I mean, Luke goes in the community every time he's going to go. He went and fished Bradenton near you, Nick. Mm-hmm. Guess what he did? He went to the Bradenton area and saw what was trending. Super, super helpful to see what's working. All right. What else? What else am I missing? You got species over on the left. So if you only wanted to, if you knew you're going to go out and catch in red grouper, you could only look at all the red grouper picks or mangrove snapper.
Exactly. Yeah. So over here on top, you can choose like fishing reports, fishing tips, insider reports, and maybe fishing forecasts, and then go down and choose the species, and it'll filter the feed based on all those topics. So those are all, informational posts, and then it'll filter by that species.
Too cool.
Yeah.
All right. What about the main map? I was talking with one of our members who's been an insider for 3 years, and he didn't know about the map. And so I said, all right, we got to put this one front and center. So if you guys are watching, it's right there at the top. At 2, we're going to make some big change. Oh my goodness. It is crazy. So every one of those dots is a fishing report, by the way. Yep. Oh, that is nuts, dude.
Yeah, it's just loaded with them now, and all over the coastline too, the Gulf and up.
Oh yeah,
all the way up the Atlantic.
That whole, because I mean the whole, the club started on the west coast of Florida 5 years ago, and that's why there's the most there. But I mean, if you it's everywhere now. I mean, look up the Texas.
We're getting some down the Caribbean.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So we are going to be making some changes to this, and we're going to be simplifying it. And tying in some really, really cool things. This is going to take months, by the way, so don't expect this in the next couple of weeks. For you members, you'll get access to this, and we're going to talk about that in a second about how you can be one of the first insider members to kind of beta test this new version. But after we kind of launch this new version, get any bugs out, then we're going to work on redoing this map. And actually start featuring some ways to literally show you where to go fish in your area. I'm talking like next level artificial intelligence. This is something we're already working on. We're kind of thinking it and drawing it all out. It will take many months to do, but when it's released, it is going to be epic. That means if you're going down to Port Charlotte, Florida on vacation, and you can literally type in when you're going to be there, and it's going to start showing you and pointing in the direction of what areas to fish. Like as close as you can get to GPS numbers, it's going to highlight here are the exact types of spots you want to fish. Because we did a survey recently for our members, and we said, what's the number one challenge you have when it comes to catching inshore fish? And can you guess what it is? It wasn't like lure selection or anything like that. It was finding the fish, right? Finding that 90-10 zone was by far the number one answer. And that was even with, guides. I mean, that's still always the number one struggle, is just finding the fish as quick as humanly possible. Whether it's you by yourself, your spouse, your kids, your coworker, your neighbor, or your charter captain, and you're putting brand new people on your boat on fish, you want to do it as fast as you can. You want to find the fish. So that is our number one goal over the next 12 months, is to build this out every way possible to help you find the fish faster than ever. Right. Because I mean, you could talk about what's happening in areas, and you can look at reports, and that is super, super helpful. But I know most of you just want the quick fix, right? We all do. That's how we're wired. We'd rather just have it real quick. And so we're going to be able to give you both, right? We're always going to be having heavily focused on trends and empowering you to go out there and find the fish and know confidently where they're going to be. But we also want to give you a head start and get you on a map and say, all right, they're going to be here based on the weather, based on the wind direction, based on all these factors, and literally give you a head start on exactly what areas you should be looking. So super, super pumped. You'll hear more and more about that as we continue to grow this. But I wanted to put that little teaser out there because I'm super excited about it. And this is so close to coming to fruition, this new community. And the next phase will be this change in the map. But just so you know, Nick, if you can zoom in, and they're color coordinated, there's a little filter up there, so you can even filter by times of year. You can filter by types, if it's an actually on the water insider report, if it's just someone doing a spot dissection. I mean, it's crazy how much intel is here on that map. So cool, man. It's nuts how many pins that we have.
Yeah, it's a lot of intel.
Oh, that is crazy. All right, so if you're listening and haven't seen it yet, the map is literally at the top. It's like the first tab now we put as the map, and then we got the fishing tips and go to the courses and tackle and then tides. But we now have map at the very top. What else? I know a cool thing that you that we've heard a lot of people mention is a potential improvement, which I think we fixed, is when they do a new post. So show how easy it is to just do a new post, Nick.
Yeah. So a lot of the feedback we got was making a fishing report. There are too many fields. There's too much information we had to enter. So we just streamlined it. We made it a lot easier to actually make a post. There's only a couple of fields you have to fill out to do a fishing report. It's just your title, your description, the city, what you caught it on, and the tips and tactics. That's it. And you can choose to add photos and video if you'd like. There's additional report details now that are optional, but these are the ones that you used to have to fill out. And it just, asks for the body of water, the what you're fishing from, the type of equipment. So all that is optional now. And our main goal was just to make it as simple as possible. We fill out a couple of fields and you're done. The other thing we're doing is when you add photos, we're going to add a image suite so that you can actually, crop your images, rotate them. There were some bugs when you did a video and photos. It would sometimes not include the video, so we fixed all that. The other thing is image, the order of the images, so you can drag and drop those. That's all been fixed, and so you can feature your image that you want on the top first. So we just went through it and we're laser focused on getting all the issues out of the way and just trying to get it running as smoothly as possible. And it's coming along really nicely. I'm super excited about it.
That's really cool. And another thing that we're, if you guys are looking in the far left column in the different categories, is meetups. There's becoming more and more meetups, which has been really cool. Some that we do, like we've got one coming up here in January for our members. I believe we're getting close to like 500 people RSVP, which is really cool. And some are just, 5 or 6, people who are local to, Virginia or somewhere in Wilmington, North Carolina. We've had little meetups all over the place. So now we're going to have an area where you can, get meetups and then, connect with people in your area. We have a directory. I don't know where the directory is. I don't see it here.
That's going to be added. We're still working through all that.
But the directory is cool. So you can go find people, who are active in your area. And connect with them. And, speaking recently with Joe Schaefer and Bill DeWeese, two of our longtime members, both of them have said, they've literally met what they now consider some of their best friends in this community. People they did not know prior to being in here. And a lot of times it was just a meetup or, hey, I'm going to be out in the boat or the skiff or the kayak and launching here this Friday morning. Anyone want to join and then go have a beer afterwards or something? It's been really, really neat. We've met some great friends that I text with on a weekly basis all through this community. It's been really, really, really neat. And so our big 3 promises when you join as an insider member, or that one, you're going to find the fish faster, right? It's all about getting you on the fish, finding that 90-10 zone where the feeding fish are. And number 2 is saving money and tackle. That's another really big piece that we have with, 20 now, even I believe we're doing 30% off on a lot of our products, like the Moonwalker that just came out. So, saving tons of money on tackle. And the other part is meeting friends. I mean, that's a big part of any community is to one, to share and to get help. And then to meet people, to meet friends and to network. I mean, that's one of the things I love about this. And it's really cool too. When we go do our meetups, I feel like I know a lot of these people, right? I've seen their face, I've seen them in videos, and I feel like I already kind of have a connection with them. So it's been really, really cool. And I truly do believe this is the best community. I mean, as Nick said, there's no cursing, there's no negativity, no belittling. We just get rid of you and give you your money back. We just don't have time for it. There's enough negativity out there in this world. We don't need more in our fishing community. And so we believe it is the most helpful and positive community out there of like-minded anglers, regardless if you're new or you're a weekend warrior or you're a full-time guide. I mean, we've got guides in here who are now posting really cool reports and sharing stuff that they're not sharing anywhere else. So it is such a neat place, and huge kudos to Nick, you and your team for taking this whole community to a whole new level. And as I mentioned, this will be the same on a phone, and it will rest just like an app. It's a progressive app, which is where, Google Hangouts, big companies are now moving towards this, so they don't have to keep up with all the little nuances and rules and regulations in the App Store and the Google Play Store. And they're going to these progressive apps, which is what we have. And now we have the ability to log you in for a whole year. So when you sign up, or if you get in for the first time and have it as a progressive app on your phone, just like a normal icon, you can now be logged in for an entire year without ever having, to log back in or memorize passwords and stuff. So it'll look and feel just like an app and just be super smooth. And we'll continue to be adding some neat features based on your feedback. But I'm really pumped about the map stuff and tying it in with the tides and the strike score. I mean, that's just brilliant. That's so cool to have all that at your fingertips.
Absolutely.
There it is. All right. Anything else, Nick? I know we covered a lot and teased a lot here. I guess the last question I know our members are chomping the bit is, how do I get access to this? Because we haven't rolled this out publicly, or I guess publicly to our insider members yet.
Good question. So we are going to be having a couple of beta testers go through it, which I think will start soon here in next week or so. And then once we get feedback from our beta testers, we'll make all those changes, and then we'll plan to push it live.
Cool. It should be the first of the year, sometime in January. This will go live. And another thing, we've had quite a few members who have said, hey, I've got a lot of friends who'd be interested, but they really kind of want to get a feel for this first. So that'll be another thing that we'll be reaching out to our current insider members on, is the ability to invite a friend to come, not to get full access to the entire club, like meaning not the discounts and all the trends and courses and all that, but just to even get a taste of the community. So we will be putting that option here. So if you have a friend who's a member, you might want to reach out to them in the first of the year, but you'd be better off just joining the club. I mean, it literally comes with a 365-day, 100% money back guarantee. So that means if you aren't finding fish faster than ever and saving money on your tackle and meeting friends and just having fun, then we give you your money back. No questions asked. And that's how confident we are it will work for you. We've taken all the risk off of you and put it on us to make sure that you absolutely love it. And then it's ultimately the best fishing investment you've ever made in yourself. So you can join at saltstrong.com, and you'll see a little thing that says join the club, or you can go to saltstrong.com/pricing and get in. I believe if you pay up front, it comes down to 27 cents a day. So $8 a month. I mean, that's nothing, right? In the big scheme of things, to be able to go out there and maximize your time on the water. I would gladly pay that's a quarter a day or $8 a month to have access to, one, a great community, but two, all the tips and some of our main courses and all the shortcuts and the trends we're putting out every single week. And then, of course, access to some of our exclusive products and really big discounts on everything, from even the rods and reels and line, lure, terminal tackle, et cetera. So make sure to join us. We just hit 25,000 members not too long ago. I believe we're at 26,000 already, and we're going to end the year here at probably getting close to 27,000 the way this club is growing. So so cool to see all the growth. And Nick, amazing job. I can't believe you've been here 5 years, dude. That's so awesome.
I know, man. It's been an awesome ride.
Seen a lot. And heck, in 3 years from now, we'll be saying, man, this community looks so old, right? It's so funny about technology because we've done that with our main site. We've had to do a facelift, 3 or 4 times in the 6 years we've been a company. So, but man, right now, this is the cleanest, smoothest looking thing I've seen. And I've played around with it on mobile too. And it's sick. Sick in awesome. in a good way. So like fat with a PH. All right, dude. Well, man, appreciate you. Anything else that we missed?
No, man, I think that's it for now.
That's good. All right, guys. For you insider members who are interested in being a beta tester, leave us a comment. So go to the fishing tips section at saltstrong.com. That'll be the best place to leave us a comment on I want to be a beta tester and try this sucker out. And then 2, any other feedback, things that we might have missed that bug you about the old community. As we mentioned, this is a continuing job for us and for Nick and his team of developers. And so if there's anything else that you guys are seeing as buggy or just not as user friendly, let us know. That we want this to be a discussion, a conversation, not just, hey, this is the new community and like it or not. This all happened because of your feedback. So we want as much as humanly possible. And you can do that at saltstrong.com, the fishing tips section. You'll see this blog if you're not already on it right now. So we appreciate you guys. And we will talk to you in the next episode. Thank you so much for you current insider members for making this the best community, the best online community for saltwater anglers. Cannot wait to see what you guys think about this new community. Nick, appreciate you, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Peace. We out.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul. It was pain.